Welcome back to the channel, US Rare Coins News, Top 1. Please subscribe, get ready because today we are diving deep into one of the most overlooked coins in everyday pocket change that could actually be hiding serious value, the 1975 Roosevelt Dime with the mysterious JS connection, and trust me, coin collectors and treasure hunters are paying very close attention to this one. The Roosevelt Dime has been a staple of American coinage since 1946, created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, but what makes the 1975 issue so fascinating is not just its age, but the hidden details, minting variations, and rare errors that can turn an ordinary 10-cent coin into something worth far more than you would ever expect. Now most people think a dime is just a dime, something you barely notice, but collectors know that certain years like 1975 can hold secrets, especially when it comes to mint marks, proof coins, and rare production mistakes that slipped past the United States Mint. During manufacturing, let's talk about the biggest reason this coin gets attention, the legendary 1975 no-S proof Roosevelt Dime, which is considered one of the rarest modern U.S. coins ever discovered, and it was never supposed to exist in circulation, making it a dream find for collectors. Normally, proof coins minted in San Francisco carry the S mint mark, but a tiny number of 1,975 proof dimes were mistakenly struck without that mark, creating an error so rare that only a few examples are known to exist today, and this single missing letter completely transforms the coin's value. Imagine checking your coin collection or an old proof set and finding a dime without the S mint mark. It might look completely normal at first glance, but in reality, it could be one of the rarest modern coins ever produced in the United States. Even regular 1975 Roosevelt dimes without errors still have value depending on their condition, especially if they are in uncirculated or mint state grades. Because collectors always seek high-quality coins with strong details and brilliant luster, coins graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services can command significantly higher prices than worn-out circulation coins, and if you find one with sharp details, clean surfaces, and no scratches, you may already be holding something collectible, but the real excitement comes from error coins. Because 1975 dimes are known to have several types of minting mistakes, including off-center strikes, double die errors, clipped planchets, and even wrong planchet errors where the coin was struck on a different metal blank. Double die errors are especially interesting because they create a noticeable doubling effect on the lettering or design, and collectors love these because they are visible without advanced tools, making them easier to identify and highly desirable. Off-center strikes can also increase value dramatically depending on how much of the design is shifted, with more dramatic misalignments bringing stronger collector demand and higher prices. Another factor that can boost value is toning, which occurs when a coin develops natural colors over time, sometimes creating beautiful rainbow effects that collectors find extremely attractive and are willing to pay a premium for. Now let's talk about what these coins are actually worth, because this is where things get exciting for collectors and treasure hunters. A regular circulated 1975 Roosevelt dime is usually worth about 10 cents to a few cents above face value depending on condition, so nothing too special there unless it's in exceptional shape. An uncirculated 1975 dime in high grade can sell for around $5 to $15 depending on quality and grading, with premium examples going even higher among serious collectors. Error coins such as off-center strikes or double dies can range anywhere from $50 to several $100s depending on how strong and visible the error is, making them very attractive finds, but the real king of this series is the 1975 no-S proof Roosevelt dime, which has reached astonishing prices at auction, with known examples selling for over $300,000, and some estimates placing top-quality specimens even higher depending on demand and condition. Yes, a tiny missing mint mark turned an ordinary dime into a coin worth more than a luxury house. And that's exactly why collectors are constantly searching through old proof sets and collections hoping to discover this hidden treasure. So if you are a coin lover, collector, or just someone who enjoys the thrill of rare finds, now is the perfect time to start checking your coins carefully, because you never know what might be sitting unnoticed in your collection or even in your loose change. Take a closer look at your 1975 dimes, check for mint marks, inspect for errors, and pay attention to condition, because the smallest detail could make the biggest difference in value. Coin collecting is not just a hobby, it's a treasure hunt filled with history, mystery, and the possibility of life-changing discoveries, and coins like the 1975 Roosevelt Dime prove that incredible value can hide in the smallest places. Top 2. Today we are uncovering a hidden gem from American pocket change that most people completely ignore, yet collectors are quietly searching for it every single day, the 1967 Roosevelt Dime with the intriguing JS connection, and this small silver-colored coin carries a story that could surprise even experienced collectors. The Roosevelt Dime series began in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, and by 1967 the United States Mint was going through a very unusual period in its history, a time when mint marks were completely removed from coins to stop collectors from hoarding them, which makes every 1967 dime instantly unique in its own way. Because of this special decision, all 1967 Roosevelt dimes were struck without any mint mark, meaning you won't find a D or S on these coins. And this alone creates a fascinating situation where collectors must rely on condition, strike quality, and rare errors to determine value instead of mint location. Now let's talk about the mysterious JS mention that collectors often associate with certain coins, because while it is not an official mint mark, many collectors use such references when identifying specific varieties, collections, or even high-grade specimens that have been certified or cataloged in private collections. What makes the 1967 Roosevelt Dime truly exciting is the possibility of finding rare mint errors. Because during the mid-1960s, the U.S. Mint was producing coins at an extremely high speed to meet demand, and this led to many fascinating mistakes slipping into circulation. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die variety, where the design appears slightly duplicated, especially on the lettering or the date, and this doubling effect can significantly increase the coin's desirability among collectors. Another valuable error to watch for is the off-center strike, where the coin design is not perfectly aligned, creating a dramatic and unusual appearance, and the more off-center the coin is while still showing the full date, the more valuable it becomes. Clipped planchet errors are also highly collectible, where a portion of the coin is missing due to a mistake during the cutting process, giving the coin a curved or incomplete edge that stands out immediately. There are also die cracks and cut errors, where raised lines or blobs of metal appear due to damaged dies, and these unique imperfections make every coin one of a kind, something collectors truly appreciate. Even though the 1967 dime is made of a copper-nickel-clad composition instead of silver, which began in 1965, it still holds strong appeal because of its historical context and the variety of errors that can be found within this year. Condition plays a massive role in determining value, because coins that remain in uncirculated condition with sharp details, bright luster, and minimal marks are always in higher demand among collectors. Special mint set coins from 1967 are also important to mention, because instead of traditional proof coins, the U.S. Mint produced SMS coins with a unique satin-like finish, and high-grade examples of these can be extremely attractive and collectible. When you combine high condition with a rare error, that is when the true magic happens, and collectors are willing to pay serious money for coins that stand out visually and historically. Imagine going through an old collection or a forgotten coin box and discovering a 1967 dime with unusual doubling or a dramatic off-center strike. It may look like a small detail, but in the world of coin collecting, those details can mean everything. Now let's talk about real value, because this is what every collector and viewer is waiting to hear, and understanding the price range can help you identify whether your coin is just ordinary or something truly special. A regular 1967 Roosevelt dime in circulated condition is typically worth around 10 cents to slightly above face value, as millions were produced and widely used in everyday transactions. An uncirculated example with strong luster and clean surfaces can sell for around $3 to $10 depending on its grade and overall eye appeal. High-grade special mint set coins with exceptional quality can reach values of around $15 to $30, especially if they are well preserved and visually appealing. Error coins are where things become much more exciting, with double die or off-center strike examples ranging from $50 to several $100s depending on how strong and noticeable the error is. More dramatic and rare error varieties, especially those in top condition, have been known to reach auction values of around $500 to $1,000 among serious collectors. So while the 1967 Roosevelt dime may seem like just another ordinary coin at first glance, it actually holds a world of hidden potential. waiting to be discovered by those who know exactly what to look for. This is what makes coin collecting so exciting, the idea that something so small and common could turn out to be rare, valuable, and historically important. Top 3. Today we are stepping into the fascinating world of coin collecting with a coin that many people have seen but very few truly understand, the 1968 Roosevelt Dime, a small piece of American history that could be hiding surprising value depending on what details you discover on it. The Roosevelt Dime series, introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, continued strongly into the late 1960s, and by 1968 something very important returned to U.S. coinage, the mint mark, which had been removed for a few years and now came back, making this year especially interesting for collectors. In 1968, dimes were struck at multiple mint locations, including Philadelphia and San Francisco, but unlike earlier years without mint marks, this time coins from San Francisco carried the S mint mark, and these were primarily proof coins made for collectors rather than circulation. This is where things start to get exciting, because proof coins are specially struck with polished dies and planchets, giving them a mirror-like finish that looks stunning, and collectors love these coins for their beauty and precision. Now when we talk about the 1968 Roosevelt dime with a JS reference, many collectors associate such markings or labels with certified coins, special collections, or internal cataloging, and while it is not an official mint mark, it often appears in discussions related to graded or premium quality coins, but the real story behind the 1968 dime lies in its rare errors and unique varieties, because even though millions were produced, only a small number feature the kinds of mistakes that make collectors truly excited. One of the most famous and valuable errors for this year is the 1968 No S proof Roosevelt dime, a coin that was supposed to have the S mint mark but was accidentally struck without it, creating one of the rarest modern proof coin errors in U.S. history. This missing mint mark might seem like a tiny detail, but in the world of numismatics, it changes everything, transforming a regular proof coin into an extremely rare collectible that can command huge prices at auction. Aside from this legendary error, there are also double die varieties where parts of the design, especially the lettering or date, appear slightly duplicated, creating a noticeable and collectible feature. Off-center strikes are another exciting possibility, where the design is not properly aligned on the coin, and depending on how dramatic the shift is, these coins can become highly desirable among collectors. Clipped planchets, die cracks, and strike-through errors also add to the list of fascinating variations that can turn an ordinary-looking 1968 dime into something truly special and valuable. Condition is another key factor that can dramatically influence value, because coins that remain in mint state condition with strong luster and minimal marks are always more attractive to collectors. Proof coins, especially those from San Francisco, are judged even more strictly, with collectors looking for deep mirror surfaces, sharp details, and no visible imperfections, making high-grade examples much more valuable. Now imagine finding a 1968 proof dime and noticing that it does not have the S mint mark. This is the moment every coin collector dreams of, because you could be holding one of the rarest dimes ever produced. Even regular circulation coins from 1968 can still hold value if they are in exceptional condition or if they display interesting errors. So it is always worth taking a closer look at every coin you come across. The thrill of coin collecting comes from these small discoveries, the excitement of spotting a tiny detail that others might overlook, and turning that knowledge into something valuable. Now let's talk about the actual value of the 1968 Roosevelt dime, because this is where curiosity turns into real numbers and real potential. A regular 1968 dime found in circulation is typically worth about 10 cents to slightly above face value, depending on its condition and overall appearance. An uncirculated 1968 dime with strong luster and clean surfaces can sell for around $3 to $12, especially if it has been well preserved over the years. Proof coins with the S mint mark in high grades can range from around $5 to $20 depending on quality and eye appeal. Error coins such as double dies or off-center strikes can range anywhere from $50 to several $100s depending on how strong and visible the error is, but the most valuable of them all, the 1968 No S proof Roosevelt dime, has reached incredible auction results. with known examples selling for over $20,000 and in some cases even approaching $50,000 depending on condition and demand. This is what makes the 1968 Roosevelt Dime so special, a coin that exists in millions of copies. Yet within those millions are a few extremely rare pieces that collectors are willing to pay a fortune to own. Top 4. Today, right now we are diving into a coin that millions of people have handled without a second thought, yet hidden among these ordinary pieces could be examples worth far more than just 10 cents, the 1976 D. Roosevelt Dime, a coin from a historic year in the United States that still holds exciting potential for collectors today. The year 1976 was incredibly special because it marked the bicentennial of the United States, celebrating 200 years of independence, and while most attention went to special quarter, half dollar, and dollar designs, the Roosevelt Dime continued its standard design quietly, making it easy to overlook but still full of hidden opportunities. The Roosevelt Dime itself has been in circulation since 1946, honoring President Franklin D. Roosevelt, and by 1976 the coin was firmly established in everyday use. Struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition that replaced silver just over a decade earlier, now the D Mint mark on the 1976 dime tells us it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the busiest mints in the United States, producing millions upon millions of coins to meet the needs of daily commerce. Because of this massive production, most 1976 D dimes are very common, but here is where things get interesting, because within those millions of coins are small variations, errors, and high-grade examples that collectors are always searching for. Let's start with condition, because even a common coin can become desirable if it is preserved in exceptional mint state condition, with strong luster, no visible wear, and sharp details throughout the design. Coins graded at the highest levels, especially those with clean surfaces and brilliant shine, can stand out dramatically from average circulation pieces, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for these top-quality examples. But the real excitement begins when we talk about mint errors. Because the 1976 D. Roosevelt Dime is known to have several types of errors that can significantly increase its value, one of the most popular errors is the off-center strike, where the coin design is not properly aligned, creating a dramatic and unusual appearance, and the more off-center the coin is while still showing the full date, the more collectible it becomes. Another fascinating error is the doubled die, where parts of the lettering or design appear duplicated due to a misalignment during the die creation process, and this doubling effect can often be seen with the naked eye, making it highly desirable. There are also die cracks and cut errors, where raised lines or blobs of metal appear on the coin due to damaged dies, giving each coin a unique fingerprint that collectors find incredibly interesting. Clipped planchet errors are another possibility, where part of the coin is missing because of a mistake during the blank cutting process, resulting in a distinctive curved edge that immediately catches attention. Strike-through errors can also occur, where foreign material gets between the die and the coin during striking, leaving unusual marks or patterns that make the coin one of a kind. Now imagine finding a 1976 D dime with one of these errors in your pocket change or an old coin jar. It might look unusual at first, but to a collector, it could represent a valuable and exciting discovery. Even without errors, high-grade 1976 D dimes are collected by those who aim to build complete sets in top condition, and finding coins with exceptional eye appeal is always a rewarding challenge. Another interesting factor is toning, where coins develop natural colors over time, sometimes creating beautiful shades of blue, gold, or even rainbow hues, and collectors often pay extra for coins with attractive and unique toning. The beauty of coin collecting lies in these details, the thrill of spotting something different, and the possibility that a simple coin could turn into something far more valuable than expected. Now let's talk about what this coin is actually worth in today's market, because this is the part that every collector and viewer is most curious about. A regular 1976 D. Roosevelt dime in circulated condition is generally worth about 10 cents to slightly above face value, as it remains very common in everyday use. An uncirculated example with strong luster and minimal marks can sell for around $2 to $8 depending on its quality and grade. High-grade mint state coins with exceptional surfaces can reach values of around $15 to $30 among collectors who seek the finest examples. Error coins such as off-center strikes, double dies, or clipped planchets can range from around $50 to several $100 depending on how dramatic and visible the error is. Rare and high-quality error specimens, especially those in top condition, have been known to reach auction values of around $500 to $1,000 or more when strong collector demand is present. So, while the 1976 Roosevelt Dime may seem like an ordinary coin at first glance, it actually holds a world of hidden potential waiting to be discovered by those who take the time to look closely. This is what makes coin collecting so exciting, the idea that something so small and common can carry history, mystery, and real value all at the same time. Top 5. Today we are uncovering a modern coin that most people completely ignore, yet it holds surprising potential if you know exactly what to look for. The 1999 Roosevelt Dime, a coin that may still be hiding in circulation but can become valuable under the right conditions. The Roosevelt Dime has been a part of American currency since 1946, created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, and by 1999 the design had become one of the most recognizable coins in everyday use. But that familiarity is exactly why so many valuable pieces go unnoticed. The P Mint mark on this coin tells us it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most important minting facilities in the United States, producing millions of coins each year for circulation across the country. Because of the massive number of 1999 P dimes produced, most examples are extremely common, and in circulated condition they are usually only worth face value, but the real story begins when we start looking deeper into condition, quality, and rare minting errors. Let's begin with condition, because this is one of the biggest factors that can turn an ordinary coin into a collectible one, especially when it comes to modern coins like the 1999 P dime. Coins that remain in mint state condition, meaning they were never used in circulation, can show brilliant luster, sharp details, and smooth surfaces, making them far more desirable to collectors who want the best possible examples. High-grade coins, especially those graded MS66, MS67, or higher, are much harder to find than people expect, because even small scratches or contact marks can lower the grade significantly, making top-quality coins surprisingly rare. Now let's talk about errors, because this is where things become truly exciting for collectors who enjoy the thrill of discovery. One of the most talked about possibilities is the double die error, where the design appears slightly duplicated, especially on the lettering or the date, and even a small amount of doubling can increase the coin's value significantly. Off-center strikes are another fascinating error type, where the coin design is not properly aligned, creating a unique and eye-catching appearance that collectors love. There are also broad strike errors, where the coin is struck without the collar that normally shapes it, resulting in a slightly larger and flatter coin that stands out immediately. Clipped planchet errors can occur as well, leaving the coin with a missing curved section, and these unusual shapes are highly collectible because they are so easy to recognize. Die cracks and cut errors add even more variety, creating raised lines or blobs of metal that make each coin unique, almost like a fingerprint left behind during the minting process. Another interesting factor is strike quality, because even coins without obvious errors can vary in sharpness and detail, and collectors often pay more for coins that show crisp, well-defined features. Toning also plays a role in value, as some coins develop natural colors over time, and while not every toned coin is valuable, those with attractive and vibrant colors can command higher prices among collectors. Now imagine going through your pocket change or an old jar of coins and spotting a 1999 P dime that looks just a little different. Maybe the design is slightly off, or the surface looks unusually clean and shiny. That could be your first clue that you have found something special. The beauty of coin collecting is that these discoveries can happen anywhere, anytime, and often when you least expect them, turning an ordinary moment into something exciting. Now let's talk about what this coin is actually worth in the real market, because this is where curiosity turns into real value. A regular 1999 P Roosevelt dime in circulated condition is typically worth about 10 cents. As it remains very common and widely used, an uncirculated example with strong luster and minimal marks can sell for around $2 to $6 depending on its overall quality. High-grade mint state coins with exceptional surfaces and eye appeal can reach values of around $10 to $25 among serious collectors. Error coins such as double dies, off-center strikes, or clipped planchets can range from around $50 to several $100 depending on how strong and visible the error is. Rare high-grade error specimens or exceptionally well-preserved coins have been known to achieve auction values of around $500 to $1,000 or more when demand is high. So while the 1999 Roosevelt Dime may seem like just another modern coin, it actually holds hidden opportunities for those who take the time to look closely and understand what makes a coin valuable. This is what makes coin collecting so addictive and exciting. The idea that even the smallest and most common coins can hold secrets waiting to be discovered. So start checking your coins carefully, pay attention to every detail, and never overlook the possibility that something valuable could already be in your collection, because in the world of coin collecting, one small discovery can change everything, and your next treasure could be just a single dime away.